So I'm really excited because we've got two mums. We have Pam as representing as a mother-in-law, and we've got Zams as a yummy mummy. So this one's a really, really unique episode, and obviously, brides, as always, feel free to comment. But yeah, I'd love to hear you guys' perspective on this. Like I said, from a mother-in-law's perspective and a mum's perspective, because obviously you have a daughter, don't you, Zams?
I do.
Okay, so am I the arsehole for not taking my husband's surname? So last night I was speaking with my fiancé and we spoke about surnames. For the longest time, I've been saying I want to double barrel my name. So my name and his name, or his name and my name, most likely my name and then his name. And I've been under my maiden name for all of my life. And I want to carry it through to the next chapter whilst taking on their name too. And my consideration is whilst we're also going to have children, which is in the plan. He doesn't like the idea as it isn't the done thing. He also thinks it would majorly upset his parents because he wants to carry the family name over, and whatever child we have should be under their name, not my maiden name, not a double-barrel name. Then there's the discussion of whose name goes first. He is usually more open and accepting of things and understands that I'm a very independent person, but there isn't really that much understanding. I feel like he's taking his parents' side. He seems pretty pissed off at me, but it's my name and my identity. I even said to him that I don't have to change my name at all if I don't want to. He's taken it as disrespect towards himself and towards the rest of the family. I don't even want to face my potential mother-in-law. But I meant it as I'm doing it because that's what I would like to do. I don't think it would impact our marriage. We're having a love marriage. And it means I'm still uprooting my life to move all the way to their side of the world, which is just from east to west, by the way.
London.
Even that's a distance in itself. So, am I the arsehole for wanting double barrel? Should I feel bad? Have my in-laws got a point? Should I be taken into consideration? And what do we do when it comes to naming the children? Because at the moment, I can't think straight and I'm just mad.
Shall I? Do you want to go first?
No, not really.
I think first, come out from the ego, because it's like this is the ego barrier here.
Okay.
He's saying my name going first, or you have to take my name, and she's saying now I'm being stubborn. I don't want your name. I wanted your name, but also my name as well.
Yeah.
First, you have to put the ego aside and think calmly, because it's like a relationship, isn't it? It's like a giving and take. If you are in love, surname is like as a traditional, we normally think of a surname takes carry you like your legacy. That's it, huh? But it's if I may, it used to be like back in time, it used to be like you only have a boy and you can't have a girl, so girls wasn't be like taking as seriously, or it wasn't giving no kind of respect to girls. And these days, like we are living in 21st centuries, like we girls are doing the same as boys. I mean, some like parents, they have just only 2 girls. They don't want a boy at all.
So who's going to carry on their name legacy, right? Because they're just less.
It's not. I don't think it's like a surname is a big issue.
Okay.
Big issue is like how you complementing each other, how you supporting each other, how if like the girl, she wants to marry him, is she going to respect the family? That's the big thing, not the surname at itself.
How would you feel if your daughter-in-law decided not to take your family name?
If
you wouldn't mind.
It's like between them two.
Okay.
If they're happy, if my son say, okay, I don't mind. If she wants to carry her name, I don't mind at all, because it's like a being mom. When my daughter changed her surname, it kind of hurt for a bit.
That's the thing, because you have daughters as well, don't you?
Yeah,
right.
so it did like kind of think, oh no, you're not, whatever the name, you are still Ojale.
But does it not make you feel like then your daughters aren't yours anymore? They've been given to somebody else?
This is your daughter, isn't it? It's just like a sentimental, like a surname. You growing up, it's just your surname. If I'm looking back, I was try to keep my surname.
Okay.
Yeah, back in like 30+ years, obviously. But now my husband said, now you have to change it.
Okay. Would you have wanted to keep your name?
I would have, because I was the only one child.
Oh, so that after you, there was nobody with that last name.
Yeah.
Okay. But what about, let's say, your daughter-in-law and your son decide to have children, and what do they do about the name? So let's say if your daughter-in-law didn't take Orjale as like her last name, and then there's just what would your thought as a grandparent be for your grandchild?
Yeah. I don't think it's like the surname is that important.
Okay.
Yeah. It's important the relationship. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't have a relationship, what are you gonna do with the surname?
Good point.
Yeah.
Okay.
If like my grandchildren, I don't have no relationship with, then don't come to see me, and they just carry Orjale. It's meaningless, isn't it?
So it's more the bond rather than
It's
last
a bond.
name.
To me, it's like a relationship over everything. And also it's like between husband and wife, whatever they decide. I always try to stay away from their business.
Zam?
The mother-in-law, that's the best thing I can do.
That makes sense.
And same with my daughter as well. I don't give no advice.
Yeah. But you said you did feel a bit sad when she changed her name. Like you felt it as a parent, you felt it.
You do. But you get used to it as well. So like I've got a granddaughter.
Yeah.
And she's obviously taking her like his
her dad's name.
Yeah, which is fine,
Fair.
But it's like my granddaughter is my granddaughter. It doesn't matter if she's
already got a different name. Fair.
Yeah, that's my point of view.
That makes sense. Zams, I mean, you've been married twice. Did you take both times the last name?
Yeah, the first time I did, and the second time, to be honest, I only did so I could get rid of the first one. And it just made sense.
So you didn't go back. So you didn't take on the name, went back to your maiden name, and then took on Shan's name.
No, because I thought Shan would kind of feel a way about it if I went. I didn't want to keep the old surname.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, fair.
And then I felt like if I did it for my first marriage, then I should really do it for my second marriage.
Okay.
So I didn't revert back to my maiden name.
Oh, okay. So you went from the last married name you had to like Shan.
Yeah, because I couldn't be bothered to do all the passports and that new time's over as well.
That
Credit cards, passport, bank accounts, it's long.
I'm just going to point out for the final context, I've been married twice, never changed my name once because of that reason. I will be though. Okay, so in the sense now, obviously, with Sham not being with us anymore, if you would have had children with that same last name, because I'm guessing Ziva and Z-Code have their own last name.
They do have their own last name.
And he's not here anymore, and you guys had a son, and then that wasn't going to get carried through. How would that feel? Or would it be like, or is it like Habham said, a name is a name, it's not?
Yes, I think a name is a name.
Mm-hmm.
It's just...
Is it not our identity though?
Yeah, but then what is your identity? Like, it doesn't mean that if my daughter takes somebody else's name or keeps her own, it doesn't mean that she's less my daughter than their wife and somebody else's mother-in-law. The name's not important. It's a relationship.
I think it's a different. You don't define by name or surnames. You define by who you are. If you know who you are, it doesn't matter.
But out of interest that you guys are from a different generation, like with the most respectfully, do you think that your guys' thoughts and opinion, which I completely honestly agree with, are different from majority of maybe your generation?
Yes, I can say that. I have seen people still have the mindset like they're still very, very, I don't know if I'm allowed to say backward.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
So say it.
Yeah, they are very backward. They, they came across as like a modern, but they're still living in like probably 70s, 80s.
Mindset
wise.
Which is what it sounds like this bride's
Yeah.
in-laws are. But how does she now deal with that? Because by the sounds of it, she doesn't have an open-minded mother-in-law. She doesn't have an open-minded mum. Like, because you guys are quite rare and unique in this. I'm sure there's loads of you guys out there.
But to be fair, it's understandable because a lot of the older generation have in mind legacy and not just a name at every point of what they're doing, the way they work, the way that they plan their businesses, the way that they save their money, the way they set up trusts.
Yeah.
It's all about the next generation.
It runs deep, right?
Yeah, it runs deep. So for them, it's not just like the name is not surface level. The name is about the legacy. And so I kind of understand that too, because they want to propagate this legacy, right? As far as I'm concerned, by the time it gets to my great-grandchildren, I'll be well dead. Right? So I'm not going to see, but I'm not going to see it. And then for me, the name isn't so important and it doesn't matter. It's that my future family is happy, healthy, cared for as much as I in this life could have done for them.
But
So
how
the
do you explain
relationship
that, though, to the generation that you've said like that, where that runs deep though, how does this bride get that momentum across to her mother-in-law, who obviously is of that mindset and generation, like you said?
I think what she needs to do, build a relationship with her mom. She needs to take her out.
As in her mother-in-law.
Her mother-in-law, because if she's gonna have the mindset, my mother-in-law is this and that, yeah, you building that, it's negativity, isn't it? Like if you're gonna think about bad about somebody, that's what you're gonna create in your mind. You're painting a picture, she's a bad, it's gonna come across bad. So if you go push that barrier outside, go to speak to her, take her out, like no, like without your husband or your boyfriend,
Just one-on-one.
one-to-one, yeah. Have a conversation. Huh?
You're gonna have to cut that.
Oh well.
Oh, we'll explain to you.
Okay. So
Yeah, but as in just I'm keeping it.
okay.
But as in, so you're saying go and build
Relationship with your
just
mother-in-law.
to break some generational trauma.
Yeah.
I think it matters about the grandchildren, to be honest. I don't even know if the mother-in-law is that bothered about the
I don't think she's actually
the
that
daughter-in-law
bothered,
to
yeah.
be.
I think
it's about the grandkids, and that I think is where the tension comes in. And so double barreling makes sense.
But then what do you do with the children? So I'll give you guys like very shortly my example. My sister took on her husband's name. My parents only have 2 kids. Our family name is actually, we're the only ones that have that family name. I didn't end up changing my name the first time I got married, mainly because of the whole, it's a real big pain. I had changed it like socially, if that makes sense. So I was under my husband's name socially, never legally. And this time around, for some reason, I don't know why, but personally, I just didn't want to give it. I think Anjali Pratt is such a unique name. I didn't want to give it up. But I also, for me, the reason I took on Alex's last name is because when this one is born, I wanted it to have both. Because then I didn't want to be disassociated from my child, but I also didn't want him to be disassociated from the child. So I chose to double barrel. We then chose that the baby will double barrel, and consequently Alex chose that he will double barrel, so he's not separate from the baby either. But for my dad, that was a really, like, he was really, really pleased about that. But I will say maybe sometimes, like, and luckily, like, with Alex not being Asian, I think, like, they were fine with it. But I can't imagine that others may not be, necessarily.
Yeah, was it your choice? Is 2 of you?
Yeah, we chose to.
Yes, your.
But that would have not been an option in my first marriage. And I'll be very clear, like, it would have been that if I chose to double barrel, you're right, like, I don't think my ex-mother-in-law would have been bothered about me. What they would have been bothered about is what the grandchild was. The grandchild had to be their family name.
So if like you choosing like double barrel, so it'll be they and the girl's surname.
Yeah.
So that's the 2 together, isn't it? So
It is, but like
marriage is marriage is like a two family comes together. If you can't see that, your marriage is not gonna last long.
My ex mother would have never allowed to have if I would have had a child with my ex-husband's family, they would have never allowed.
That's a close-minded, Hannah. So that's need education. So this is like what we are doing, educating people. So they have to come and educate themselves, and also children's, like your new generation, you have to educate your parents, either like mom or your mother-in-law. Yeah.
Do you feel like the older generation has the capability though for that? Like genuinely asking like whether you guys are like friends or people that you know, or like you say, you know, we see a lot of this on recommendation, like with that, not closed-mindedness, but the openness isn't quite there. And we are seeing it sometimes from that generation. Like you get to interact with that generation probably more so, Zams. Like
I think you the only thing that's in your power to change is yourself and the way that you behave towards people, right? And you can't change them. You can't necessarily change their minds necessarily, but you can show them kind of love and affection and
Respect,
good
yeah.
vibes and have like a good aura about you, which might bring them into your circle and like more acceptance.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to go in and say, oh, my mother-in-law is going to hate this, my father-in-law is going to hate this, and you're already setting yourself up for failure anyway, I think you need to do what you and your husband want to do.
Agreeing this kind of point.
Yeah, but okay, that's something separate. But are they not agreeing because the family has such an issue? Like if the husband's family didn't have such an issue, like is he just doing it to keep the peace? Plus, it is the norm to change your surname to your husband's surname. Is kind of the norm at the moment. So you're battling against the norm and then
The legacy thing.
yeah, the legacy thing. So there's a lot to unpack. And like I said, it's about the kids. And I think once kids come along, grandparents change every film.
Yeah.
Like their whole perspective is changed because you've got this like little bundle of joy that is your grandchild, but you can freaking give back to the parents. So it's like the best of all worlds. And they're just like so loving and doting towards this grandchild that really the naming convention might not matter so much.
So I suppose, like you said, Jenny, you've got a daughter. She's given you grandchildren. They already have a last surname. If your son also gave you grandchildren and they had a different surname, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because grandchildren or grandchildren.
Grandchildren, yeah. It's like that's your, end of life. It's blood, isn't it? It's like same. It's like I think it's like it's not that big of a deal to me. But obviously, like you said, there is a bigger gap. Is it like education? We need to educate them. That's all we need to do. We can do our jobs, but it's up to them if they want to learn or not.
Where does the double barreling stop, though? Because that's my biggest issue with double barreling, to marry somebody that had another double barrel, then there'd be a quadruple barreled name.
No, I would expect them to drop ours.
Wait.
I mean,
yeah.
I feel like Prit dash Hales dash whatever seems a bit. I mean, like
maybe we just all become symbols by that.
No, I don't. Let's not go. We've already seen with this baby that we already want two names for it. It's like a main name, middle name, and then it's got a double barrel last name.
Wow, it's gonna be so.
And I think you need to think about the acronym of the name as well, because you definitely don't.
Yeah. Okay, so in conclusion, is she the household because she wants to either double barrel or not take on the name?
No, she's not. No,
she's not. She should be able to keep her identity. And you agree?
Yeah, I think. I think they have to work together as a husband and wife and come to the conclusion. Yeah, no.
Makes sense. Okay, I'm same of the opinion. Not just because I personally double barreled my name, but I do believe as women sometimes it's nice to keep our own identity. What you do for the child, well, that's a discussion that you can choose to have. Had my husband chosen maybe not to double barrel, I would still have a last name in common because half my last name would be, so that's one choice. However, I know that people are also of a huge, strong opinion of taking on their husband's name. So let us know what your thoughts are. What advice would you give to this bride? We've also had someone like a mother-in-law saying, go and speak to your mother-in-law, go and have that one-on-one discussion, don't bring your husband into it. So let us know in the comments below what you think, who the arsehole is, if anyone is, and what else you should do. Thank you so much.